Hey friends, welcome to the ElkShape YouTube channel. Wanted to cover the 5 most common mistakes I think elk hunters make in this day and age. Now, I'm one of them. I make lots of mistakes. I say it's not a mistake unless you do it twice, but mistakes can and will happen. And it's how you avoid them, and it's how you adjust your game once you've made a mistake. That's truly the art or the essence of elk hunting public land. I think the first mistake most people make is they get married to the same spots they know from years past. Things have changed. There's a lot of more hunting pressure than ever before. Not just humans, but wolves, grizzlies, black bear. I mean, elk are nomadic naturally, but when you add so much more hunting pressure, and let's be honest, archery elk hunting has never been cooler. Joe Rogan talks about it. Jocko Willink talks about it. People are interested in elk hunting. And so there's more hunters ever before, in my opinion, at least in the elk woods. Elk are not gonna be in the same spots year after year, and if they are, great, you're lucky, but make sure you have a backup plan. So the number one thing I would say is don't be married to the same spot year in and year out. Elk are nomadic. Number 2 is similar, but a little bit different. Don't be stuck without mobility. I think a lot of people will hunt out of one camp. They'll set their elk camp and they'll hunt maybe 2 or 3 drainages from there. And if the elk aren't there, they're kind of stuck. Or worse yet, some people will hire an outfitter, get dropped off in the backcountry, and the elk aren't there yet, or the elk were there and they're gone, and you're stuck way deep in the backcountry, but you have an awesome spike camp. And so I preach mobility, having lots of ways to hunt, whether it be out of your backpack bivvy style, or what I prefer, like set up a spike camp in your backpack, drop your spike camp off, hunt from there, and change locations often. Hunt from a truck. You don't always have to hunt the back country. Check out the front country and just be mobile. So mobility is definitely overlooked. The next thing, and it's probably the most often asked, is how do you locate elk? I'm here to tell you that elk are mobile, so you have to be able to read sign that's prevalent. Old rubs, old dropping, not fresh tracks, no good. You will find sign where the elk are at. And you gotta be able to determine if the elk were here a week ago, a month ago, or if they haven't been here in a year. And so you wanna find fresh sign, fresh rubs, and then read the tracks, read the sign. If you're in good tracks, how far apart are they? Are they grazing? Are they on a highway? Are they on transition from bedding to feedings? Tracks will tell you what the elk are doing. If they dug into the ground, maybe they got chased by a predator. And so I look for fresh tracks and try to tell what those tracks are. Are these elk feeding, grazing? Are they in transition? Are they near water? Are they milling around in their bedding area? Find fresh sign. And speaking of locating, I think a lot of people make the mistake of going to bed not knowing where the elk are at. I personally refuse to go to sleep most instances if I don't know where elk are at. And so rather than go to bed, I'll stay up late driving road systems, national forests, riding trails, and throwing out locator bugles till the wee hours, trying to find elk to hunt the next day. And if I need to sleep in a little, that's okay. The elk aren't gonna be too far. Conversely, you can also go to bed early, wake up extra early, and pitch bugles from 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. trying to find elk to hunt the next day. You need to be an elk to kill elk, locate them. Number 4. I think everybody's guilty of this, myself included. I am an all-star backyard archery shooter. I am like world-class shooter in my backyard. Take me out of my comfort zone, take me somewhere out here where there's a little bit of angle, wind, undulation, my ground's uneven, and my groups start to break up a little bit. So grabbing a morel, high roller target, and go somewhere foreign to you, find some public land, and throw that thing out there and shoot some steep uphill, downhill shots where you have to take a certain percentage of the yardage off. Wear your backpack, wear your bino harness, get some realistic shots from your knees, standing with brush in the way, things like that. Perfect practice makes perfect. I think a lot of people overlook that step and they're really confident based on their backyard groups. You need to be really confident based on your real life groups. The last tip, I think, is not really overlooked, but I think people don't understand how imperative it is that you have a diaphragm reed call in your mouth 100% of the time you are elk hunting with a bow. I can't tell you how many times I've been busted by bulls coming in, or cows or calves, been able to let out a calf call or a cow call and stop the elk in their tracks or calm them down. If an elk barks at me, I bark right back with my call. Things get a little bit easier. And so most elk that I've killed, especially bulls that have been called in, the last sound they ever heard in their life was me cow calling while at full draw to stop them in the lane that I needed to shoot them. And I've also had instances where an elk is staring right at me and I was able to draw my bow while they're staring at me because I let a cow call. It's almost like they trust their eyes, but they trust their ears more. And if they're even looking at a human being, but they heard that cow sound, they're almost looking for where's that cow while you pull your bow back. Keep a diaphragm in your mouth. It will save you and you will get a shot opportunity because you listen to those tips. But these are the 5 that I think are the most imperative. Don't make these mistakes. Good luck this season. Comment below where you're going elk hunting. Hit the subscribe button. We'll catch you on the next one. Nailed it.